Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over the cryptocurrency market, and some people had brought up a gentleman named Crypto Savvy comparing the Amazon.com bust to the current Bitcoin bust. And hey, man, a guy's entitled to his own opinion. I don't agree with it. I could take these charts and make them say pretty much anything. I could take any other chart and present data in such a way where I can manipulate it. I'm not saying he's doing that, but it can be manipulated in such a way where I could present this and say, hey, this is what it's going to do compared to the Amazon. Here's what I'm going to do. I don't have anything against guy, great trader. I'm just going to present the data where I'm going to show you something that's probably contrary, just based off the chart data and a little bit of logic and common sense. What's going on here with Bitcoin and Amazon. So for those that don't know, this right here is Amazon's super dump after it had this massive wave run up. So if you can have a massive wave run up, you're going to have a dump like that. It's pretty obvious. .com bust. And it went down, I think 95%. And there's I guess some information out on crypto Twitter and other places on YouTube that Bitcoin's going to do the same thing. I'm going to let you guys know that that's probably, is it possible? It's possible. Is it probable? Probably not. It's probably not probable. Okay, now first, here's what I'm going to do for you guys. Here's an arrow right here that I have. Bitcoin marked here at 10 grand. Okay, here's a 10,000 where everybody is saying it's going. Okay, first off, for Bitcoin to get down to those levels, more than likely there's going to be need to be a pretty significant retrace in this area. Okay, for it to drag back down. So you see on our side, it's going to need to probably drag this up a little bit more, and then it can start making its trek down to those areas. Okay, the other issue that you have potentially with this is that the amount of time that it's going to take to get down there. So you can see that wave, this single wave right here took 189 days. And now you're going to have some time in here, maybe 60 or 90 days, wherever this ends. And then you're going to need another more or less 189 or 200 days. So next year, the summer of next year, for probably Bitcoin to start reaching those areas. Okay, most of the selling has been down there. Now you also have the argument are, most of the people that have sold probably have already sold. Most of the capitulations probably already been done. How much more is left for Bitcoin to really drop that far, guys? I mean, you have to think about it like that too. Okay, and then taking the bullish side, do I look at it with what I'm doing and going, okay, is it possible? Want to make sure that this could not happen. Now, could it go up and make this wave and then come back down? That's one of the things I'm looking for in this wave. If I see evidence that's going to do a 3-wave swing up in like a WXY wave, which you do not want, I'm telling you, do not want that. And then it could be making a multi-month trek down to 10 grand. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. And then they also, too, what you could take a look at is the overall structure of Bitcoin here on the logarithmic chart. So now you're going to have this, could it be 1, 2, based on its previous history, does it seem reasonable that Bitcoin is going to do something like that? Probably not, guys. Probably not. Is it possible? It's possible. Is it probable? I don't think it's probable. Now, the other thing is to comparing, say Bitcoin's had this massive run up and it needs to do this massive dump, okay? Claiming say like what Amazon did over here. Well, you see Amazon had a run up, boom. If you go back over to the Bitcoin chart on the BLX, here is more than likely, if you want to compare Amazon to Bitcoin, this would be the more appropriate area to say, okay, here's Bitcoin started like when Amazon went and ran up and then had its dump, its massive dump right here. Let's see, what is that? 90. You could say 94 or 95%, okay? You can see that dump right there. So it went up and then did its dump. Kind of looks like that. If you actually want to do it, I don't like doing that because they're a little bit different assets. Charts can look the same. They do come up with the different patterns, but you have to understand with Amazon, it is a business. There's more people involved. Bitcoin's not like that. There's no CEO of Bitcoin per se. So, and it's a different behavior model behind it. Okay. Other people are people that invest in Amazon that invest in Bitcoin. Yes, of course there are, but you're going to have a mix and you're going to have a little bit different chart layout for the most part than you will with Amazon, even though both of them, in my opinion, are going up and to the right for years to come. Not only because they're Amazon's a good stock and you can see it in the charts, and then also Bitcoin is good, and then you have a lot of big investors going into it. And has limited supply. Not only is it going to go up and to the right for those reasons, also because of inflation. Okay, if you can believe it, as the dollar gets weaker, these charts go up and to the right. Don't believe me? Take a look at Venezuela, and when they have inflationary problems, massive, and their charts still go up and to the right. The issue is with that is that once you sell your stock, say in Venezuela, and you take your money out, well, then if you want to go buy a loaf of bread or buy some food, by the time you get over to the store, the price has already increased, and you really didn't make any gains, even though the charts are going up and to the right. So that's the other reason too, guys. So I hope that makes sense a little bit. So comparing that to Amazon really doesn't make sense. Taking this $10,000 Bitcoin and how it needs to get down there is not probable in my opinion, guys. So that's why I've just I have it there, but I know that if the majority of people are saying that, I know the majority of people are wrong. If you just think about it, it's logic and common sense when it comes to the markets. Just like they were up here saying Bitcoin was going to 100K. Now they're down here, okay, in this area right here saying Bitcoin's going to 10K. It's just the same thing. It's the same effect. It's going to happen again, guys. It's going to repeat itself over and over and over again. It's going to go up and they're going to say it's going to go to the moon. So once it's up here, Bitcoin is up here at 90, let's say 60, 70. They're going to say it's going to 150 or 200. It's going to be the same thing. Okay. Mark my words. It will be the same thing and it'll come back down again. It'll be the same thing going back down again. Behaviors of people don't ever change, guys. They stay the same. So just want to let you know that. The other thing is too, I want to let you know is that you see these corrections in Bitcoin deeper. This one's a little bit shallower. And as time goes on, they're actually getting slightly shallower. And one of the reasons why, folks, is because it's going into smaller sequences. That's why. So the corrections will get shallower as time goes on with Bitcoin. So you have the biggest correction, the deepest, a little bit shallower, and over here probably a little bit shallower. That's why it's doing that, because it's a progression of Bitcoin and having lower sequences. So you can see I have a wave 1, 2 here. Okay. So then it made another 1, 2, but this one is a lower sequence of that one. Okay. So you can see this is big wave down here, another wave, and now you're in a different sequence over here. So once if it's done here, or if it's done here, wherever it's going to be finished, then you have a lower sequence 1, 2 over here. Okay. Or it could be right here. Some people have the argument that it's 1, 2. Could be. It could be. I still think possible maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here. And then you'll have another one possibly might be going into a 3, It depends. It usually doesn't do 4. It's 3. So you have 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and then it's 3 over here. And then you can see it'll be way, way over here. It'll be years like this, going like that. Just kind of like that with a bunch of corrections in there, just like so. With smaller, they won't be as deep as this. To assume that Bitcoin needs to do a repeat of this is not smart. Not smart at all, because they don't understand how waves and the progression of an asset works. It's like saying it's going to do this. Oh, it's got to do 95%. Bitcoin has to do 95% drop over here, just like over here, when you're like, wait a second, hold on for a second. That doesn't quite make sense. If you think about it from a logic, common sense, and how the progression of assets go, kind of like Amazon, Amazon's massive dump, and now look, smaller sequences. It's going to come up here, correct it, and it'll have another sequence, kind of about maybe not even as deep as this, but maybe a little bit more. So somewhere in this area, way over here, it's going to have a big 3, 4. So, but it's got to work out these 1, 2s, and these 3, 4s, and get up to that massive correction for it. So just want to let you guys know that. I'm going to go over at DXY real quick, going over the DXY, Bitcoin, Ethereum. It's still working on its correction. So that's putting a little, kind of like what I call relieving a little pressure on the assets. And then with Bitcoin here, guys, this is in a fourth wave. I have no issue with that, with it doing what it needs to do. So it's burning up time. It's taking up time. And to me, I think that's pretty decent because you have a good shot of Bitcoin's correction started there, if you can believe it, at the 30th of July. You have a good shot that Bitcoin was in a correction starting right in this area, guys, right there. Here, I'll put a circle around it, just like that, in that area. And then this whole thing has been the correction so far. And if you take a look at this, so if this was the wave, you got to take the time into consideration. Hardly anybody in the YouTubes uses time. Time is a very, very important aspect of waves and corrections, guys. It all makes sense. You don't have a wave one that's going to last, say, 100 days, and your wave two is going to last 5. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that, guys. If your wave one lasts 100 days, your wave two is probably going to be somewhere near 100 days. It could be 90, it could be 110, 120. So if you see this 42 days for Bitcoin to get from here to there, based on my estimates, well, then you're going to take it, this correction, it's taken so far more or less about 25 days. Okay. So maybe there's up here until, the 30, 40, maybe over in this area, or maybe a few more days. And then it's going to take it some time to get down there too. So, because I do think that there's going to be one more wave down. Is it done? It could be a fake out. Maybe it's in there working, but it sure is moving slow. Not like it's impulsively to me. I just don't know. So this is the, what I'm kind of expecting, maybe just a dragged out 4 wave. So like a third ended there, and then maybe the 4 somewhere in this area, and then it'll take its time a little bit on the 5th wave to work its way down there. Now, somebody was asking me about the RSI, how it could drag back up. It needs to drag back up to make that 5th wave. That's what I was trying to explain to another person. When you look at the RSI in the chart, okay? In this area, hold on, let me go to an 8-hour chart. I'll show you guys here in the RSI. You can see this wave comes down right aggressively in that 3rd wave. It needs to drag it back up if it's going to make a 5th wave, because the RSI won't break that wave. It go up, drag it up, and then it can come back down just above that wave. And then up here you will have a wave that's lower, but the RSI is higher, giving you that bullish divergence, confirming that this is your 5th wave move or 5-wave move. Okay. So let me go over Ethereum. I think Ethereum, same thing too. I think 5-wave down, and it's probably this could be a fake out too. I'm gonna be careful. I don't think so. I think it's maybe ABC right here. This could be it right here, ABC. So it's in the box area that I'd set, and there's my line target, more area, but that area, and then so Bitcoin, it's getting into the area. So maybe Bitcoin is finishing up 5, and then a 3, and then possibly down for another 5 like that. So with Ethereum, just like so, guys, you take this possibly A, 1, 2, 3 up for that B, and then back down for a C like so. And then the Bitcoin over here, right, finishes up as 4th, goes back down onto this 5th, and then where's Ethereum? Got Ethereum, and then Ethereum come down and finish its correction. It's kind of what I'm looking for. Of course, I keep other alternatives in the back of my mind. I'm not going to present everything. I'm not going to get on here with these LA wave traders and say, oh, by the way, it could do this, it could do this. They go over like 8 or 9 or 10 different scenarios, and they say, well, this is the one that has the highest probability. No, man, just like have some balls and say, this is what I think it's going to do. If it does something different, let it play out and see what's going on with the waves, whatever the market presents you. So going, like, if you got like 9 or 10 different scenarios and you're going on in here, you're never going to trade. As far as I'm concerned, you're never going to do it. Like, oh, it does this, does this, does this. It's just, I don't really agree with all that, guys. So anyhow, sorry about my rant a little bit. That's the end of my video. Everything still looks pretty good, guys. There's no reason to panic. As far as I'm concerned, everything's in a correction, and it looks pretty darn good to me. That's my take on it. If you made it all the way to the end of my video, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.